What's up everyone, my name is Jad Almari and today I'm going to be teaching you how to connect every piece of the puzzle in order to get your app launched and ready. So first of all, you're going to have to download Xcode. Xcode, you could go into the App Store. You do need to have an iOS device like a MacBook, a Mac Mini, um, and in that way you can go to the App Store, search up Xcode and download it. Once you do so, you're going to create a project, create new project. You're going to go right here to iOS, not multi-platform, iOS, hit app, next. Now we're going to create a name for it. So for instance, I want to name mine Athlete Plus. And then you see this organizer right here. You just keep it, put like your last name dot first name so that you have your bundle identifier look exactly like this one. The rest of these settings, keep them the same. So now I know it's my last name dot my first name dot athlete plus, and keep this in mind because we're going to need to use it in just a moment. So let's go next. You're just going to find a place you want to put it in. So let's say I'll just keep it right here in desktop. I'm gonna create, jump on it. Let me delete the other one, create this one. Beautiful. So now you have your sample iOS app, and if you run it, you could see. I'm gonna run it on one of these. See, those are the simulators. You can see it opened it up for me right here. You have the iPhone 16 running, and then just give it a moment. It's gonna download the app that we created. There we go. And boom, just like that. Just give it 5 seconds to load. It's gonna be like the sample iPhone app that just comes with creating a new app. But regardless, let's not take too much time on this. Now we have this part created. So of course we want to connect this to Firebase, which is a very important part of the process. So you're going to go to console.firebase.google.com. You're going to log in with your account, and then we're just going to create a new project. So same thing. I'm just going to name my app Athlete Plus. I'm not going to turn it on. I'm not going to do these for now. You can always go back later and change those, but for now, I'm just going to turn everything off. And then create the project. It'll take like 10 seconds. Up. In the meantime, we can go into Cursor. So if you haven't downloaded Cursor, go ahead and do that. As soon as you download it, you'll literally open up a page just like this. So now that we've created that project, we can open a project, and then you can go, we put it in desktop, and you can open it. Now don't open this entire file right here. You're gonna go in and you're gonna open this smaller file, this Athlete Plus right here, and then you're just gonna hit open. Now you have this system set right here. This is exactly what came with the app that we created. If I go right here, this is this section right here, because we're not going to need to use any of these two right here for the tests. We're just going to use this section, so that's why we open this. And also the reason we don't open the entire file is because when we use agent mode in Cursor and we try to use the AI to start editing, we don't want it to begin to get confused because this folder is named Athlete Plus, and then if you saw before, the bigger folder is named Athlete Plus as well. So we're just going to open the smaller one and keep it niched down so that the AI doesn't start to get confused between everything. So now our Firebase project is ready. As soon as you open it, you're going to see this page. Now, obviously we have to connect our app. So you can see right here, add an app to get started. Let's choose iOS because that's what we need. Now, if you remember that bundle ID that we needed, so I'm going to add mine, which was alamari.jad.athlete+. Right, and then you can give it a nickname, so I'll do that. Alright, you can register. Alright, and then now it'll allow you to download this file. So you never need to lose it. You cannot lose this file, right? So you're going to download it and you're going to put it in this section right here. One very important thing that you need to do is you're going to have to rename the file if you have this one at the end, and get rid of that one. It has to simply be Google services-info.plist. Nothing after that, okay? So now I have that fixed. You can go back into here. We don't really need to do any of these as our AI is gonna do it all for us. So I'll do like a sample authentication afterwards, but now we have Cursor connected to Firebase and Cursor connected to our Xcode app, our iOS app, and that way everything is connected. So now when I make a change in Cursor, when I use the AI to make a change, it'll instantly show up here, and then when I press the play button, our simulator will open up with all the updated changes. So before we keep moving, I also want to connect us to GitHub, because GitHub is also very important, and I learned that very recently when I was using AI and I'm playing around and creating an app, and the AI suddenly started to mess around and change a lot of things, and I couldn't go back because it changed way too many things. It literally like completely messed up the app that I was creating, and I was working on it for a really long time. So the reason that we were going to use GitHub is so that we can create a repo for our app, and then you can just keep updating that, and that way if, let's say, one of the times it breaks, you can just go back and use that previous repo that you had. So log into GitHub and go into your settings right here, and then you're going to go all the way down, and you're going to hit developer settings. You're going to go to personal access tokens, hit fine grained tokens. We're going to generate a new one. I'm going to name it Athlete Plus. We're going to go down. You're going to allow it to go to all repositories and set the permissions. Now those real quick. No. Keep going. And no one is, getting everything done because they know every single thing. We're just doing it one by one. So now we have our GitHub token, right? So how are we going to connect it to Cursor? Because Cursor is going to be the main way. We're just going to tell our AI, oh, create a repo for this, and it's just going to do it. So in order for us to do that, we need to use an MCP server. So we're going to copy our token that we created from GitHub, and we're going to go to smithery.ai. In here, as soon as you get on it, obviously you're gonna see something, and it's gonna say connect to GitHub account. You're gonna click it. It'll be super quick, like within a second, it'll connect to your GitHub account. Then you're gonna go to this GitHub project or MCP server that it shows. You're gonna hit cursor, and then you're just gonna paste that token that we got from GitHub. As soon as you do that, you'll get these like different codes. We're gonna copy it, and then you're gonna go into Cursor again. You're gonna hit this setting right here, and then this page will come up. Go into MCP, add a new MCP server. I'm gonna say this is the GitHub MCP server, and then we're gonna paste in that command that we got from Smithery. And now I'm just gonna give it like 5 seconds, and we'll see that it'll connect to our GitHub. So now we have an MCP server connected to our Cursor. So what'll happen is I could tell our agent in Cursor, I could say create a new repo called Athlete Plus in using the here. Let's just do that. Let's say that. Let's see how fast it'll do that. So it's gonna call the MCP tool that we just did, right? And then it'll create that repo. Now if we go back into here, we go to our repositories, we can see now we have this Athlete Plus right there, which is pretty insane. So, and then you can begin to use this to push and pull from GitHub as you like. I'd really suggest you learning more about GitHub, as it literally saves you a lot. Um, so now, let's say we want to create a mini app that uses authentication. So we're going to use GitHub. I'm sorry, not GitHub. We're going to use Firebase authentication. You just go hit authentication, and then let's say we wanted to do an email password. You just hit enable and save. Now, when you go into here, let's say I want to create a login slash sign in page for users for my iOS app. You just say I currently have it opened, and that's it. I mean, just hit enter and you'll see that it knows exactly what you're talking about. So it's checking all the files that we have open right here. And see, this is why it was good to niche down and only use this section of the entire folder and not the rest with the testing. Just in case, just for, good purposes. And just like that, it read it, and okay, it's just asking us if that's exactly what we wanted, and yes, go ahead. So it read all the files, it understands, and now it knows the login structure. You know what I should also do before I do that? I added a Google service -info plist file. And you know what we could just do? We could just go @info. Yep, right there. And I want to use Firebase authentication for this. I think I've just realized we may need to do one last thing, and that's we gotta go into Xcode over here. So file, add package dependencies. Okay, now we're downloading the Firebase package into our iOS app. So this is necessary because when you regularly do this, you actually do it in the terminal in Cursor. But what happens is when you're using iOS, you need to download the package into Xcode itself, and if you did do it into Cursor, it just doesn't work the same way. iOS has their specific way, just like you saw when we go to File and Add a Package. So when we do that, obviously we're gonna have to choose specific products. So for now, let's set athlete. Choose that same file that we were doing before. Let's do Firebase auth. Let's do Firebase auth combined. And then we're gonna set Firestore. Firestore is very important. You'll be definitely using that as you go. And then we're gonna do functions. Firebase functions is also very important. And then everything else really, we could do Firebase storage. Everything else we don't really need for now. We can always come back here if we need any of these tools, but for now, you can see here they are, and just like that, all our packages are there. Now if we go back to Cursor, we can see that it actually made some differences. It adjusted the file. So now once we do accept all for this, you can go right back into Xcode, hit this play button, and then your simulator will open up. And when your simulator opens up, it should already have all that updated code that you had. Only hit there we go. So yeah, the code instantly updates from cursor into Xcode. So all you have to do is just rerun it. So let's say I made a difference right now. I go and then I just hit rerun, and then it'll update the simulator into exactly what you did. So good news. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. So now you can go into here. You can sign up. So let's say I'm gonna sign up with my name. Let's use like a test. Oops. Test at gmail.com. And let's set the password like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're gonna create our account. And let's go check on Firebase if it went through. Let's go to users, and we can see now test@gmail.com is there. So that's beautiful. Now we have our account. Obviously, this you have to play around with, tell it to, take you into the other place. But we already have an account. Let's just do that when we log in, and we're in just like that. And that's beautiful. And you can see how literally just a couple of steps to set it up, we were able to have our entire login sign up screen set up in our app. Now this is beautiful because now you no longer need to set up Firebase anymore. It's already connected to your app. You no longer need to set up your MCP server with GitHub. All you do is just type a message right into the agent in Cursor, and your GitHub repo is there. And not just that, but your Xcode file is ready. Now, your iOS app is literally ready to go. I can simply take all my files that I have created right here and put them right into the App Store. Obviously, with more work, you can do that. It's not as easy as that. There's a process, but this is as simple as it really is. Now, other things that you can do is you can go into features over here. You can set up YOLO mode, and I suggest enabling YOLO mode and give it some of these rules. Deny all of these right here because you don't want it to completely crash or kill your entire folder. You don't want it to have these kind of terminal commands. But basically, YOLO mode it has access to everything, to your files, to edit them, to your terminal, and to like a lot of other things, such as your MCP servers. And you can obviously enable and disable any of these if you want to, set the MCP server to be set, like to be prevented from being used when YOLO mode is activated. You can do that. As well as the cursor rules, where you can just go here and you can tell it exactly what you want to do. Everyone has different rules. You just got to test around and see what you'd like. So yeah, now you have this sample iOS app, but it's not just this iOS app. It's actually connected to GitHub. It's connected to Cursor. It's connected to Xcode. It's connected to an MCP server, and you have every single thing that you need ready. All you have to do is just go into here, and you can add anything that you need. You can do hosting, you can do functions, storage. You just set it up within a couple clicks. Go into Cursor, let Cursor know, and it can set that up for you. There's a lot more to this. I will definitely do another video as I'm setting more of this up, but for now, I think this is a good place to end.